Last night when I was asleep and I woke up and the people in the next room were reminding me of my aloneness in their boisterous way. And I thought, okay, and I did make light of it. I mean, it was humorous for me, but it still was irritating at the same time a little. And so I just decided to focus on going back to sleep and focusing on, I would really love to have some connected dreams, powerful connected dreams. And it felt like the minute I closed my eyes that, and I did think this while it was happening, I couldn't move. I was trying to scream, and because some kind of electrical charge filled the room. And it was frightening. It was really, but for some reason I thought, you asked, and in your tension of resistance, it translated out to feel like that. When something happens in your experience and causes you to ask in a very pointed way for energy to flow, and you're in an open and compliant, allowing state, as the energy flows, you soar in it, you swoon in it, you float in it, you have clear thoughts in it. It is a euphoric feeling. But when you summon energy to try to fix something that feels broken, but your summoning is more powerful than the resistance that would keep it away, sometimes it feels almost like someone is holding you in place. Yes, exactly. So what that was the experience of the summoning and the receiving of powerful energy in a somewhat resistant state.
Gotcha.
Then what happened with your dreams?
And then I woke up and I was questioning. I started thinking aliens and people coming in and connecting, which has happened to me before. But so then I thought, no, you asked. So I went right back to sleep, and then I got into this really wonderful. It was very bizarre and multi-complexed, but I was soaring and flying with all these little alien type source people or something, and they were taking me to all these wonderful places, and I really could feel they're assisting me in releasing of my resistance, because I would soar up, and then my apparatus that I seemed to be sitting on would get a little shaky, and then I'd start to swoop down, and I really recognized in the dream that this is about, taking charge, Ellen, and if you want to soar, go up there. And then it went into some other funky stuff. And then I, suddenly woke up. I thought, oh, boy, that was fun. And then my second thought was, but here I really am in this quiet room all alone.
So what happened was, as you came back into consciousness, you perfectly translated both aspects of your being. You translated the power of your desire and your ability to receive it, and then you translated instantly the very resistance that is keeping you from soaring.
Yes.
It sort of started out that way, and it happened that way, and then you assessed it accurately that way. And it's wonderful. There are a number of things that we want to give you about this. First, we want to say to you that you are in the process of a wonderful vibrational opening. In other words, you don't reverberate like that and have those conscious awarenesses. As we heard your words articulating your experience, your verbal description of what was happening to you was identical to what we felt vibrationally was happening to you, which means you are having a vibrational opening, which is a very good thing. And it is because of the power of your wanting. In other words, you've been clearly defining, you've been working on some things, you've been asking with great clarity. In other words, you've got some strong momentum going, and by opening we mean full alignment connection to the you that is you. In other words, this is all really a wonderful thing. And at the same time that is happening, your pockets of resistance are becoming more noticeable to you. And so it's the same old story that you hear us tell, that when your car is going 500 miles an hour, you notice the trees more than if your car is going 5 miles an hour. And so just relax and talk to yourself in that way. Talk about how the resistance is dissipating and how this is all a good sign. And for heaven's sake, stop beating the drum of aloneness. In other words, you're having these wonderful experiences where you're soaring with angels, where all that is source is enveloping you and joining you. In other words, you could not be less alone. you are so fulfilled and a part of all of this energy, but then you choose to say, because my life is not manifesting in this one way, then I choose to hold myself apart from all of that. And we say, just leave it alone for a little while. There are a number of things that are happening to you. Your vibration is shifting so rapidly that anyone that you would attract into your experience would either have to be someone on the identical wavelength who was shifting as rapidly as you are, or they would be someone that you would quickly leave behind. And so what you're wanting to do is let this phase of your life happen. In other words, let yourself achieve this vibrational opening. Let yourself get stable in this place, and then attract someone who has already achieved that too. Trust law of attraction. Law of attraction always knows what to do. And stop trying so hard to control your experience. That feeling that you want to control experience, what is at the heart of that is a lack of understanding of law of attraction, which does control all things. In other words, you don't have to control, nor can you, anything other than your own vibration. And when you gain control of your own vibration, then you've got control of your world, you see. And gaining control of your vibration is about feeling good now, feeling good now, feeling good now, feeling good now, feeling good now. Control feels like, well, I'll take that entity, meaning any aspect. I'll take my daughter, or I'll take my parents, or I'll take these people, or I'll take my government. I'll take all of my neighbors, I'll take my dogs, I'll take all of these aspects of my life, and I will teach them the way I need them to behave so that I can feel good. And in this control of all of them and all that they do and all that they think and all that they do about me, in my control of all of that, then I will finally be free. And we say, are you kidding? Do you know what it would require for you to put that into effect? The only way you're ever going to get there is by controlling the way you feel. So then you say, I feel good even with that. I feel good even with that, even with that, even with that. I am so good at turning my thoughts toward things that feel good that it does not matter. And because I'm controlling the way I feel, now I'm controlling my connection to that which is well-being, and now all things in my world are working perfectly. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. Good things have come about here today. Did you feel it? Are you more determined to be the creator of your own experience? Did we convince you that by creating your experience, what we really mean is allowing the good stuff that you've already lined up? Do you believe us when we say that well-being abounds and that you are extensions of well-being? Can you feel that the inner being that is you chose wisely in the decision that has become you? Can you feel that you are an end result, while there is no ending, of God force, and that who you are is pertinent and important and blessed? Can you feel that this leading edge environment has all been set forth for your pleasurable, adventurous creation? Can you feel that you are focusers of energy, and that the energy that you focus is the same energy that creates worlds? And that it is as important in the world that you create as it is in this greater world that you see spinning in its orbit, that you cannot separate the energy that creates worlds from the energy that you express in your desires? Can you feel the importance of the emotions that waft through you in assisting you in knowing your connection or disconnection from the stream? And can you feel the support, the huge support and knowledge and love that flows to you and through you never-endedly? In other words, it never, ever, ever, ever stops. No matter what you're doing about it, it never stops. So in the moment that you make even the slightest effort to click back into it, it's right there and you have lost no ground at all. Can you feel that no matter what choices you have made in the past, or even what choices you are making right here and now, that the next choice can be a choice of less resistant, and that no matter what is happening in your experience, it can keep turning constantly toward the greater and the greater and the greater, more personal good for you? Can you feel the advantage you have in knowing that you are the creator of your experience, and the advantage you have in the knowledge of what your emotions mean. Can you feel how good it is that you know what the path of least resistance feels like, and that you discover more in every day how easy it is to take that path? And why would anybody want to choose a path of less resistance? Because when you're not resisting good, good is. Make no mistake about the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance and the path of most allowance are identical paths. And the path of most allowance of what? Source, God, clarity, wellness, abundance, good feelings, love, appreciation, lovers, friends, compliments, well-being of all manner. That's what you are allowing when you are reaching for thoughts that feel good. So, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would mine this moment and the next, sifting through, looking for nuggets, reaching for the path of least resistance, the path of least resistance, the path of least resistance. So our 3-year-old is having a tantrum, and we would look for the path of least resistance, and we might say, he'll get over it. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, I like that he knows what he wants. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, all true leaders have tantrums. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, the tantrums are few and the connection is great. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, I love this little bugger no matter how many tantrums he throws. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, all is really more well than it is not well. All is really, 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 really well here. As we are hearing next door some expression of something that we want, and it is amplifying our awareness of the absence of it, we would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, those two were not always together. Those two, at some point, had not yet found one another. We would look for the path of least resistance, and we would say, my partner is on the way to me now. And when everything is lined up just right, we will rendezvous. And I would not want to rendezvous before that anyway. Everything is perfect. Now let's see, what am I about right now? When we are finding ourselves feeling lack of control in our business or in traffic or in our relationship, we would stop in the middle of that feeling of being out of control, and we would feel the full force of our negative emotion, and we would stop and laugh and say, my glorious guidance is pointing out to me right now that I'm letting this insignificant object of attention serve as my point of resistance to well-being that would be there if I were not doing that. Now let me see. Can I breathe my way? Can I think my way? Can I laugh my way? Can I distract my way into less resistance? What can I do to feel better now? What can I do to feel better now? What can I do to feel better now? And it is our promise to you, if you will play this simple game for a week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, not more than 4 weeks, there is not anything that has been troubling you of a significant nature, no matter how big it seems today, that will not have dissipated completely. Because there is no assertion of bad stuff. You keep it alive only through your resistance of good stuff. And when you stop resisting the good stuff is your experience. Bad stuff has no point of assertion. Well-being is the stream that flows. We feel so much love for your willingness to come and play with us, and so much anticipation of the glorious lives that are before you. We're not excited about your manifestations. That's just a done deal for us. We are not excited about the absence of your manifestations either, however. What we are excited about is that you hold desires that are unfulfilled that give you reason to focus.